Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest video. This is a preview. I haven't done a preview in a while, but I thought this game deserved a preview, ladies and gentlemen. Newcastle versus Chelsea. This is the biggest game of our season. This really is. This is a monumental clash. This is a gargantuan situation. And I'm gonna try and explain why. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys already understand it, but for all those people that are, maybe living under the rock and probably unaware of what's going on, thinking, why is this clash so huge? Well, both of these clubs, ladies and gentlemen, are going for the Champions League position. This isn't a situation where one club has everything on the line and the other club they're in the beach and so on and so forth. Recently we've played teams of that caliber, but they've also put up a very good fight in the Premier League. Everyone puts up a very good fight. This isn't the same scenario. This is a case where both of these teams are going for a same objective to finish either third, fourth, or fifth for the Champions League spot. I don't think the second spot's really up for grabs. We'll see what happens with Arsenal. But look, before we get into the match, just to spice up this whole situation a little bit more, Manchester City, who's also going for one of those third, fourth, fifth spots for Champions League position next season, they've dropped points. Well, to be honest, they probably could have caught up to second. They were only 3 points away from Arsenal, knowing Arsenal's playing Liverpool this weekend away from home. Manchester City, ladies and gentlemen, have dropped points against Southampton, which is, it's against all odds. If I'm being absolutely honest, it's against the grain. Everyone predicted that they were going to go out there and do the business against Southampton, who've been the whooping boys of this season. And Manchester City has produced a 0-0 performance against Southampton. I didn't watch the game, but them dropping points now really opens up this top 5 race. It allows for this clash, Newcastle versus Chelsea, to the winner to take that third spot. The third spot, ladies and gentlemen, is up for grabs. It cannot get any bigger than this. It cannot get any bigger than this. And look, as much as I get annoyed and I get frustrated by the way we are run, by the way we are, handling our business under the new ownership, under the new directorship, it must be said, Enzo Maresca, with the squad that we have, which has flaws, definite flaws, and the kind of blip that we saw in the middle, you can't even say it blip, to be honest. It was a prolonged period of poor performances. The fact that we're still in this conversation of potentially being third if we get a victory against Newcastle, that's a huge testament to the team, to the manager, and we do need to praise that to a level. We do definitely need to praise that. Could it have been better? Of course it could have, but considering, as I said, how we designed our summer transfer window last summer, what we did, or lack of activities that we did in the January. In fact, I feel like we not purposely is not the word. We kind of made ourselves weak in January. But I guess you can say purposely made ourselves weak in January. So considering all of that we're still in this conversation of being third, that's huge. Now, look, I want to see if the players feel this way. Our players played a tremendous game against Liverpool last weekend. The intensity was there. You could see that our team, we were chasing something. We played in a manner that we wanted something. We are chasing a big target, and that's how we played against Liverpool, and we got that victory. We got that sort of, that voodoo out of our back, that monkey off our back, not beating a big team. And we finally did end up beating Liverpool, albeit Liverpool winning the title and whatnot. Maybe they were a little bit hungover from the celebration, but still, it was a very, very strong team that Liverpool put out. And we took care of business. Lots of very good performances all throughout the field, and in all facets of the game, we were superior to Liverpool. Now, consistency has been the issue. Consistency, ladies and gentlemen, has been the issue for Chelsea Football Club all throughout this season, and not just all throughout this season. Since the new ownership has taken over, consistency has been the biggest problem. I want to see in this match against Newcastle, where we are coming up against a formidable rival, formidable foe. Especially Newcastle at St. James's Park is a different beast altogether. Newcastle could go through the worst form in their life and they come to St. James's Park. I'm telling you, they'll probably do you over. This is the type of foe that we are coming up against. They're very strong, from goalkeeping position to defense to midfield to attack, and the attack. They've got an ace striker, Alexander Isak. He is the difference maker. If you look at both of the teams, he is the biggest difference maker. Yes, we have a midfield that can potentially one day become Premier League title winning midfield, but their midfield isn't something to fret about, to be honest. Their midfield is not something that you can look down upon. Bruno Guimaraes, Sandro Tonali. I don't think Joe Linton is around, but it's a strong midfield, very strong midfield. Very, in terms of physicality and technical ability. Their defense, Dan Burn, problem. Set pieces. Up front, Isak. Harvey Barnes have been in good form. Anthony Gordon, once again, I'm not really sure whether he's going to be back or is fully fit, but he's going to be a problem. Even Jacob Murphy. And as I said, St. James's Park, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be just up in roar, man. The noise is going to be mad. The other factor is it's an early kickoff on Sunday. I don't recall us doing well in early kickoffs, but we're going to have to. This is what I want to see. I'm fully backing my team. I'm loving the bit of momentum that we've created in recent times. A victory against the grain against Fulham. A nice gritty victory against Everton. We've gone to the Conference League final. And we've taken care of business in a very strong manner against Liverpool. So nice little bit of momentum growing. And I hope this continues. We've got some players that are in good form. Enzo Fernandez is in very good form. Cole Palmer finding hopefully some form off the back of that match against Liverpool. We need Jackson to fire up front. I think Madueke and Pedro Neto have been playing well. Lavia is a huge factor for us in midfield. Hopefully he stays fit and he does well. Caicedo, player of the season. Chelsea, player of the year. Defensively, we need to be on target. This is a game where you almost have to have a 10 out of 10 performance. You really do. Anything less than, I'd say, an 8, you could be in trouble. If our defenders have like a 7 out of 10 performance, that might still not be enough. Look, the way I look at it, third place is up for grabs. Get a victory against Newcastle, and I think we're confirmed for Champions League position. So you can see what is up for stake here. Do you know what I mean? What is at stake here? You get a victory, I think Champions League is ours with Man United and Nottingham Forest to play. I think we can do our business. A lot of people are saying, look, 6 points minimum. 6 points minimum required for the remaining 3 matches. Aston Villa, ladies and gentlemen, have won as well over the overnight. Not my overnight. Aston Villa got a victory against Bournemouth. So Aston Villa is on the prowl, is on the lookout. They're ready to pounce. How do you approach this game? Do you approach it in a tentative manner that, okay, we just can't lose this? Or do you approach this game in the sense that, look, let's go for it. Let's go for it. And considering Newcastle will go for it as well. As I said, both these teams, they know what's up for grabs, and it's going to be an almighty clash, man. It's going to be an almighty clash because Newcastle will be looking at it and going, do you know what? We're at home. We know Champions League positions are for grabs. Let's go for it. Similarly, us as well. But is one team or another going to look at this and go, let's not try and lose this? Because you lose this, you could be in serious trouble. Well, once you have that mentality, it could be a bit of a false sense of security and you could fall into a trap. If you're going in with the mindset that let's not lose, you might even end up losing. Newcastle, their next game is Arsenal. So they probably would like to do the business right now, as opposed to having to definitely beat Arsenal. Although they've beaten Arsenal, I think 3 times this season. They've done a madness. So for me, huge game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the table just quickly. Liverpool, obviously winners. Don't worry about that. 67 points, Arsenal. They are going to be still safe in second position for this weekend, at least. Well, whatever happens between them and Liverpool doesn't really matter because Man City have dropped points. Man City could have gone equal points with Arsenal. Goal difference for Arsenal obviously superior. Newcastle, as you can see, both Newcastle and Chelsea, we have the opportunity, massive opportunity to go third. Get a victory. Any one of us get a victory and we leapfrog Man City and take over the third position, which is going to be huge and only a point away from Arsenal. Wow. Even second place could be up for grabs. So there's a lot riding on this game, Aston Villa, ladies and gentlemen, 63 points. So as you can see, this is turning out to be a phenomenal situation. And Nottingham Forest, let's not forget them. They've got a match against Leicester and they're probably going to win that. And they'll go to 64 points. So you lose this, you could find yourself in a very bad position. If Nottingham Forest wins, they'll leapfrog us and go into the 5th position, and Newcastle will go into the 3rd position. And then it just gets very sticky. And who knows, as a lot of people are predicting, it may go down to the wire in the last day. I don't want it to go down to the wire. I'd like to take care of business immediately, but it may go down to the wire. So look, ladies and gentlemen, huge clash coming up. Biggest match of our season so far. And let's see if the team is up for it. I'm backing him. I want to see consistency. I want to make Champions League football next season because I'm tired of all of these other Mickey Mouse competitions. Champions League is where the game's at. My prediction, my heart's saying it's a draw. It is. That's what my heart's saying. But I want to go with my head. I know it's a different policy. You generally try and listen to your heart, but no, I'm going with my head. I'm going with a Chelsea victory. 2-1 Chelsea victory. And that will solidify the Champions League position. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about this clash that's coming up? For me, it's monumental. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Will be for the live watch along, God willing, 1.5 hours before kickoff. So early kickoff, which is fantastic for me, not zombie hours. So we can enjoy some conversation leading up to that match. And do look out for Backlash. We've got Backlash live watch along coming up. All you can eat wrestling. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. The link is in the description. Backlash coming up very soon. So do look out for that. Until next time, everyone. Take care. See ya.